Welcome to Storytellers Showcase. I'm your host, Mark, and with us we have a very special guest today. We have Diane Amos. Diane has long been an actress, a comedian, a storyteller, and the longest spokesperson for a product ever. She's been the Pine Sol lady for 32 years, she tells me. She doesn't look old enough for that, but it is with great pleasure to introduce to you today Diane Amos. So Diane, when did you get started in storytelling?
Well, I have been a stand-up for many years. I started improv, then I just started doing stand-up. And as a stand-up, I've never been a joke comic. I've always been a storyteller comic. More observational and stories about my life and things that were true because that's what's really funny. And also so that I couldn't be copied in the business. Like, you can't say that you're a black woman who was raised by two lesbian moms if you weren't. So that was a great protection for me. So I've always been a storyteller, and now the genre has come to me. So I've been doing it as just storytelling for a little over 2 years now.
Wow,
yeah,
that's fascinating.
Yeah, it is wonderful.
And what are you doing with storytelling these days?
So I am getting ready to travel with storytelling. That's my goal. I've been doing In a Nutshell here in Sacramento. I work with Don Reed at Redwood Nights in Fairfax down in the city. I work in Oakland. I work everywhere. Anywhere that they'll book me, I'm working. And I'm so passionate about it. It's my third act. You know, first was improv, then stand-up, and now storytelling has got me just feeling so generated, you know, so excited because we're being lied to on such a grand scale right now. And I think people really enjoy people's truth. And I tell true stories, right? If you hear it, it happened. So I'm just being thrilled by the audience reception and just telling it.
Wonderful. So here with one of her true stories is Diane Amos. Take it away, Diane.
So we're going in the Wayback Machine to when I was in junior high in San Francisco, raised in the Richmond district out by the beach. And it was a wonderful neighborhood to grow up in. When I moved in, it was mostly a white neighborhood with a fair amount of Russian and or Jewish families. And about 6 to 8 black families at any given time in the neighborhood. So everybody knew where the chocolate chips were. You know, we were in that neighborhood, but it was not many of us. The schools were quite integrated then because busing happened. So we had a really wonderful mixed student body. But there was still a little racism going on in that. You know, at lunchtime we ate separate. You know, the black kids ate together, the Jewish kids ate together, the Mexicans, the Latins, the Asians. So it was still that going on, but we really had each other's back as a neighborhood. Now, one thing that was going on at that time was kind of the thing where black young men were starting to date white girls. Now, it didn't bother me that they were dating white girls because actually part of my family is white. My mom came out when I was 7. Her first wife was a Jewish woman. So I actually had a Jewish mom at home. No one knew that at school because they had to be in the closet. So it wasn't that. But what happened is the brothers were making us not feel pretty. Like straight hair was the thing, or, you know, no hips. Well, come on, that's not going to work with us. And so they were making us feel not beautiful. And that I had issues with. So I rallied up the brothers one time after lunch, and I gave them my black girl speech. I said, you know, hey, date who you want, but don't make us feel less than. You know, my natural is good, and I got all this. Don't make me feel less than. And I just said, you know, be respectful, and, you know, if you want to date white girls, that's fine, but don't make us sisters feel bad. And I let them know that I was unhappy about that. Not that I wanted to date them, it was just something I needed to say. Being raised by a lesbian feminist, I had the balls to say it. So I gave them the speech. And then it was summertime. And oh my goodness, karma smacked me in the face. Because right before school let out, the last month or so, Richard Jacobs kept showing up everywhere I was. When I came out of rehearsal for choir, he was there smiling, and I'd see him. And after kickball practice, I'm the captain. I see him, and I'm talking to my team, and he's there smiling, and we start to talk. Next thing you know, yeah, y'all, I fell in love with Richard Jacobs. This absolutely adorable Jewish boy, long hair, cute as can be, huge smile, just sweet, just so real. And he was talking to me, and so we started hanging out. So summer starts, and we realize, we had so much in common. We had such a great love for each other. It just grew so much. So we started hanging out for the summer. We went to Playland. We had Playland at the beach, y'all. Rides, everything. We hung out at the beach. We had Golden Gate Park as our playground. We rode our bikes all day. I mean, we really were having a fantastic summer together. And here I was dating this white guy, and I just was so smitten with just how real he was and how he pursued me and made me feel beautiful, which is what I had been talking about. So our summer is fantastic. Now his dad was all right with it. My mom, no problem at all. Well, his dad was a construction worker, and he was also a landlord. So he had this piece of property on 9th Avenue that was vacant. So we cut school one day, which is a big deal, We had summer school classes that we had been attending. So we cut one of them one day and decided to go to the house that was empty. Well, we were practicing getting naked, seeing what that felt like, junior high stuff. So we're in the living room of this big empty house, no one there but us. And, at this point, we're down to, I've just got on panties, he's just got on boxers. And it's like, whoa, because, I was a 36C at 10. So, I was packing. So we're having a good time, and we're kind of exploring what that feels like. And he hears his dad's truck pull up. And we're like, oh my God, right? So we gather all our stuff, we didn't have backpacks, y'all, we just had books. And we ran to the back of the house, and we went inside this closet, this mirrored, huge walk-in closet. And we're standing there in our underwear, and they come in, the dad and a painter. And they come where? To the room we're in, and they're standing in front of the closet that we're in. And I swear to God, I was so scared I could hear and taste my heartbeat. And I was like, oh my God, if they open this door, I'm standing here with my titties out. So, and we've cut summer school class. So I'm just like, oh my God, we don't make a sound. And they're talking about whether or not to paint the trim and whether or not they should, he goes, well, no, you don't have to do this one because I'm going to change the door. And he walks up to the closet door and touches the top. And as it moves, we're just like, right, trembling. And they're talking about whether or not they need to replace the top of the door. Oh, he goes, I think it'll be fine, but I just want to replace. So they're just doing talk. And we are standing there just mortified. So finally, they finish talking about the paint job that they might do. They leave. Now, we hear them on the top stairs. They're still talking. Then we hear them go downstairs. They're still talking. We're still staying in the closet like, oh my God, oh my God. And then we hear the truck pull off. We open that door, we fall on the floor. We're like, oh my God! We almost just got busted so hard, right? So now we're laughing. Now we're saying, this is like, oh my God, this is so wild. So now we're all freaked out. And so we left there and went and had pierogi because we had fabulous Jewish delis in our neighborhood. So we had pierogi and we hung out. And we just couldn't get over the excitement of when it just happened, like being in this closet, naked. So, summer comes over, we're having this beautiful summer, and we stop at the bus stop once at the 31 Balboa, and we pour out orange soda together, and we say to each other, I want to say to you that you're my first love. This is what we said. And we poured out orange soda together and said that no matter what happens in our lives, who we marry or anything, that we had this moment as each other's first love. And we pour out the orange soda together so that they mingle, and we have a kiss at the bus stop. So that was our just, ode to each other. Now school's back in, and word gets out that Diane Amos is dating a white boy. Oh my God. The brothers were all over me. They were like, hold on, didn't you give us a speech about, and I said, I didn't say don't date white girls, I just said don't make us feel bad. And like, so you out dating Richard Jacobs, long hair Richard Jacobs? I'm like, oh, he's sweet, he's just that. They were like, mm-hmm. So, we succumbed to the pressure. And it was just too much. You know, we couldn't really keep the love thing going, even though we totally adored each other. It was just too much pressure at school. Too much when, you know, I don't know, when it was separated at lunch or whenever. And we still gave each other the sweet smiles. And we knew what we meant to each other. But we had to break up because I couldn't take the pressure and the brothers were mad and blah, blah, blah. But we had this love that was so sweet. And the fact that we got to document it with our orange soda and say to each other was really great. Well, I didn't see Richard Jacobs after high school. We still went on. But I was up in Tahoe many years later as a grown woman. I'm probably in my late 20s. And I'm in the casino. And who's dealing blackjack? Richard Jacobs. I'm like, oh my God. And I see him, and I stand back, and he looks up, he just, right, his whole face. And I was like, oh, right, that sweet same smile. And well, now he's losing. And this old man turned around, he goes, hey, sweetheart, why don't you get closer? Right? They realized he's looking at me, and he has lost his little magic, right? So I wait for his break, and we have the best hug and the best memory of the summer that we had together. And we both remembered the orange soda pouring out, and we just gave respect and love to what we had that summer. So Richard Jacobs, that was my boyfriend, my first puppy love. Thank you.